Impact Wrestling here at Universal Studios, Florida. And I interviewed her pre-mom days.
It's been a while.
Truly one of the inspirational knockouts for Impact Wrestling and an outstanding wrestler. When you talk about women's evolution, the revolution of wrestling, you got to throw Madison Rayne in there, and thank you so much, Madison.
Thank you.
What
an intro. Wow.
Hey, come on. Well deserved. We'll get to the mommy stuff first, then we'll get a little wrestling and we'll be done. What is it different in life as a wrestler who is without child compared to one who has child?
I eat a lot more chicken nuggets. I mean, I don't know that it's any different than somebody who works like a normal job Monday through Friday, because with wrestling, I get to control my schedule. I get to control when I'm home, when I'm gone, and I opt for home much more than away. So, and again, I've never had a 40-hour-a-week big kid job because I've been so blessed and fortunate to do this my entire adult life. But I truly feel like when you add up all of those hours over the course of a year, the hours that I'm away from my daughter versus the time that I get to spend with her from the time we wake up until the time that we go to bed, I think the time home far outweighs the time gone. And I do something that's very unique and very special and something that she gets excited about, and I think motivates her. And as she gets older, I'll be able to tell her the story of when I was little. I had 2 older brothers, and we grew up watching wrestling, and I fell in love with it, and I always told everyone who asked, I'm going to be a wrestler when I grow up. Nobody believed me, and here I am. So my hope in continuing down this path is that someday I can tell her that story and encourage and motivate her to do the exact same thing.
In whatever she wants.
In whatever she wants to do. Maybe not wrestling, hopefully like medical school.
Awesome. Is there much wrestling talk at home?
A little bit. You know, she gets excited about it, but she gets more excited about like Ninja Turtles or Disney princesses. And so, you know, when she asks questions, she'll ask about, she used to love Marty Bell and Jade when they were here and did the dollhouse character because they were characters, and she loved that. So she'll always ask like how mommy's friend Marty Bell is doing or how mommy's friend Jade is doing. She loves Miss Gale, Miss Rebel. So it's more talk about mommy's friends at wrestling than wrestling itself.
What does your daughter think, though, of mommy the wrestler?
Yeah. So, oh God, you're gonna get me with this one. She goes to preschool, and she had a day where they asked all of the kids what they want to be when they grow up. And she said, her first answer, like that rolled right off of her tongue, was a princess. But she said, and I want to be a superhero like my mommy because she wrestles and she's a superhero. So, I mean, there's no bigger compliment. There's nothing better that could come from this experience and being mom and wearing all those different hats. And like, it was the absolute best thing in the world when her teacher told me that she said that.
Now, for you,
yes,
you're married now. So how did you and your husband meet?
Well, I am married. I am married to Impact announcer, commentator Josh Mathews.
No, really? Wait a second. This is big news.
I
know, spoiler alert.
It's about to go crazy. I mean, obviously we met here through work, and he watched me wrestle a time or two and thought that I was hotter than fire and fell in love practically overnight. Hey, Josh! Yeah, we met at work.
And is there time where you guys are like, since you both are in the business, won't have any wrestling talk time now?
Oh my gosh, there's more non-wrestling talk than there is wrestling talk, and what I'm really happy about is that, you know, we were told very early on in our relationship that people who work together, like it usually creates a bit of friction, but we found that really happy groove where I still like to be critiqued when I wrestle, and he's got such a great mind and a great eye for it. So if I present it to him in a way that's like, hey, can you give me some feedback, then we talk about it. But for the most part, like, it's kind of a closed door topic in our house unless it needs to be discussed. But there's far more non-wrestling conversation than there is wrestling in our house.
For you, since you've been in this business and doing it well for a while, do you give advice to others? Do you help others, or just do you have any free advice you can give others that want to get involved in this business and this knockouts that you're seeing here today?
Yes, go to college first. That's a joke, but honestly, have a backup plan. Because
Plan B.
Even if you are wildly successful in the wrestling business, it has an expiration date. So I would say go into it in a smart frame of mind. And I would also say work for it. Because so many people just feel like wrestling's something that anybody can do. It's really not. And if you don't have a love and a passion for it, you're not going to succeed. So, I mean, but I think that's with anything. So, do I give advice? Yes, when it's asked of me. I don't press my opinion or my thoughts on anybody because, you know, everybody learns a different way and has a different style, and there are so many different opinions and thoughts that fly at these this young generation of wrestlers. So I definitely give it when it's asked for, but I don't press my.
Well, Matt, no, that's fine. And Madison, I was going to ask you, at what point in your wrestling career are you right now, and are you interested in training wrestlers?
It's not something I've ever thought about. You know, I'll do a seminar here and there and just talk about like my experiences and what I feel has worked for me and hasn't. Hey, husband, hasn't worked for me. But I feel like in a lot of instances, the best players aren't always the best coaches. And I don't feel like that would be something that I would necessarily flourish in. I've been on the creative end of wrestling, and I love that. And I think that I'm very good at helping develop character type stuff. So in that sense, absolutely. I would give free advice to anybody at any time and help develop characters, because that's when things really come to life. Like the wrestling obviously is incredibly important, but you're gonna connect with somebody who's sitting at home watching when you give them a reason to go, oh my God, I'm captivated by that. So, yeah.
And that's something you've done very well. Last question for you in that regard. What do you think of the knockouts that are here this time around for Impact Wrestling?
Yeah. So when I first came into Impact Wrestling just a few years ago, I was young and hungry, and all I wanted to do was be a knockout. And there were so many other girls who were already here and had paved that way for me. And I feel like now I am kind of on the other side of that, where I am hopefully one of the ones who have continued to pave the way. And there are so many young, hungry, incredibly talented women in this locker room that I'm excited in a whole brand new way, not only to like get in and tie it up with them, but to watch them soar. Like there are girls in this locker room right now who are about to have moments that are just going to catapult their careers, and I'm so excited to be here to watch that firsthand.
And we've got to see that firsthand ourselves with Madison Rayne.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madison.
Thank you.